Chào mừng quý vị quay trở lại với phần tiếp theo của chương trình Đồng tiền thông minh ngày hôm nay trên kênh FBNC với cuộc trò chuyện cùng anh Michel Leclerc là tổng giám đốc của Wall Street English. Welcome back. So, a very important factor for a student in Vietnam when they consider a school to go to study English is the tuition, the price. And it's easy for people to assume that higher tuition, expensive tuition means higher quality. What is your take on that?
I think what people should look at is the result they get. Because when you invest your time or your money,
Sure.
you want a result. And the result is probably you want more money later, and you want also maybe more confidence, more happiness. So when my students come to Wall Street English, my duty is to make sure they get a good return on investment. They will get a good return on investment, and I'm 100% sure. Now, how do we measure it? It's very simple. We did surveys in many countries in the world, Wall Street English, and I did it here in Vietnam. How much more money do you get if you speak good English, but you do the same job at different positions in your career? Whether you are a junior, a manager, a senior, a VP. And it's very clear that people who speak good English for the same job get at least a 20% increase in their salary. That's one. Two, what is even more shocking is the speed at which they are promoted and their salary increase later.
Sure.
So I always tell my employees and my students, you cannot afford not to afford Wall Street English. This is the best investment you will make in your life.
Sure.
Because we ask $2,000 for a one-year course.
Okay.
$2,000 in 5 years will transform most probably in $10,000. I don't know any bank account today where you can put $2,000 and 5 years later you have $10,000. I'm French. I invested in learning English. I went to the US. I did my studies in the US. And I think I had an interesting life. And today I own my own company because I learn English.
Sure.
If I did not, I would probably still be in France. And as you know, today, France, we have a lot of recession. And if you finish the course, of course, if you give up, then you waste your time and money. But at least at Wall Street English, we're not going to let you give up easily. Keep going, you're almost there. Remember your dream, why you learn English. We're going to help you to reach that.
Well, what you were saying is actually my next question, which is the most important thing for a English learner, which is for any kind of language learner, which is not giving up. And it's easy for them to give up, you know. So is it the self-motivation, or how do the schools support the student and make sure that they don't give up?
Okay, very good.
What is the motivation?
Very good. That's my real passion. So when we meet the student the first time for an introduction, we discover their needs, and we train our educational consultants to find what we call the hot button, which is really why the prospects want to learn English. What happened in his life recently that probably hurt him, and he said, I need to learn English. So we find first the hot button of the prospect, and we put it in our CRM. So later, we can use this hot button to remind him, hey, you remember you said you wanted to learn English because you want the promotion to get a salary increase, because maybe you want to buy a bigger house because your wife is pregnant and you need more rooms.
Got some motivation, some goal to make, right?
Exactly. So it's really important to detect this hot button. So that's the first thing. So the second thing is to make people realize that learning English is a top priority for them this year and to commit. Because sometimes people come and yes, they have a hot button, yes, they want to learn English, but they don't perceive it as a top priority. and then they have some challenges in the office, and they say, forget English.
So you must prioritize as well.
So we ask them, after their second lesson, we have another session with them, and we say, please write and commit that English is a top priority for you this year.
But what happens if a student has some financial problem? Do you provide support for that? Because your tuition is quite high.
Okay, so let's talk about the tuition. It's an important factor. Yeah, on average, we charge 50 million for a one-year course, which is a bit less than 5 million per month. Okay? We want the students to pay upfront because our experience all over the world has shown that if students pay upfront, they commit more and they don't give up. If they pay month by month, it's very easy to give up.
That's the give up part.
Okay. Some people cannot pay 50 million upfront.
Sure.
So in most other countries in the world, Wall Street English has some deals with banks, so students can borrow money and pay per month. In Vietnam, unfortunately, not so many banks want to do that.
Why not?
I don't know. It's because the personal lending market is not well developed.
Okay.
So, but we are in discussion with a few banks. Okay. We Standard Chartered Bank. We are almost there. Okay. Okay. So I think starting, in fact, next month, we will be able to offer personal loans to people who cannot afford to pay upfront. Okay?
Sure.
And Standard Chartered Bank has been very reasonable with the interest rate. Yeah, and we have a scheme. If the students complete the course, we will subsidize the interest rate, Wall Street English.
Okay. 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 I hope that program can come true soon because that would be very helpful for the student.
Exactly.
Because some student with a financial problem, they might have more motivation to learn English because they want to improve their life and make more money. So I hope that you can have that loan program, right?
Yes.
Personal lending program, and talk to some more banks on some deals with the centers. So, thank you so much for sharing, and we'll come back after a short break.
All right,
thank you. Thưa quý vị, vừa rồi là những chia sẻ của anh Michel Leclerc, tổng giám đốc của Wall Street English. Chúng tôi sẽ còn quay trở lại trong phần tiếp theo. Quý vị có thể xem lại chương trình trên website FBNC.vn.